Sorry about that, folks. Apparently sound was not working. I have resolved that issue, so I can assure you that the last 10 minutes have been nothing but amazing commentary, and from here on out, it's just going to go downhill.
Ice seems to be curling a fair amount. I will kind of defer to Melvin, our resident Iceman, on that one.
It has been curling more as the tournament goes on, I think. We did just have a flood a couple weeks ago. So ice usually starts out a little straighter until the sheets start to take their shape. Players seem to be able to get about 3 feet of curl, so I'm not going to complain about that.
A lot of guards so far in this end. It's going to be a game of first one, and it's going to have the advantage.
What rocks are we on? I kind of lost track. Sorry, I was fixing the sound.
I think this is going to be the 4th stone for red. So yellow's thrown 4, red's got hammer. This is their 4th.
Just rub here.
Noisy morning out there.
It sure is. Usually this noisy. Picking it up from the mics.
We can drop the ambient sound a little bit if it's overwhelming. A lot of guards in play, that's for sure.
I can't believe how much that one curled. That was really weird.
Yeah, that draw path is disappearing.
This one's hanging out just a little bit.
I think it's a little upweight too.
Yeah.
Rock maybe a little bit heavy, probably back house. Last stone for the vice here. I am bad at using computers, folks, sorry.
Says the tech IT person.
This one is just light, and one more guard up there.
Both teams seem to be struggling to find the right combination of weight and line. I'm not really seeing a way to access the house at this point.
For red, that will be difficult. Yellow has a potential tap.
Yeah, I see that. Final stone of this end for Don Finley. Maybe the double tap being played here?
I think they were just looking to draw out to the wing behind that high corner guard, but too much weight on that one.
Do you have any indication the speed of the ice yet? Second end should be pretty much up to where it's going to be for the rest of the game. Guess we can take any shots that have been thrown so far and add about a second. This should get us close to the tee line. First skip rocks here for Hugs, not Jugs.
The way the broom's set up, I gotta think they're playing the tap. That's just enough to get it on.
I'd say so. Well executed tap. Good first stone from Skip Virginia McElroy.
21 seconds on that shot, which
It's hard to tell on a
tough to
tap.
tell with a tap. But
Yeah. There's 3 other games going on concurrently, as I'm sure you can hear. We'll be happy to bring updates as interesting things happen on the various sheets. If there's any teams that you're particularly interested, just pop it into the chat, and we will send updates. A lot of discussion on this shot.
yeah, I don't know if they're looking to try and do like a run back of some sort on that red. I don't know how. I think the Yellowstone that's in the house is pretty well buried. No way to get to that on its own.
Red has the hammer here. I don't know. Do you just ignore the one they just threw and maybe try and put one outside again and just outcount that?
Not a bad option. It's just half 8 foot, it would appear. So you wouldn't need to be very far into the house to outcount it. I guess we'll see shortly. Looks like we're lining up to open the house up on Liz's first shot.
Fairly firm. He should clear both the yellows, but some unexpected rebounds.
Yeah, one of the sweepers occluded most of the action. there. When the dust settles, I would say they're really no better off. Probably didn't hit that rock quite where they wanted to.
One other unintended consequence of that last shot is that with things rearranged, the outside draw path on the right seems to be closed off now, so that opportunity to come around and just try and out-counter with the hammer might not be there anymore.
Which leaves you now the left side of the house from our perspective. And I think that's what their yellow's trying to block up here. It's a nice little rub.
Does a good job of.
Not a lot of room now.
If I'm red, do I look at the double here? Just kind of blank.
Maybe what they're lining up. I'm not seeing a much better option. Maybe a big roll off of the rock that is the red rock way to the right on your screen. Stage right, I guess, from our perspective. The decision has been made. Final stone of this second end. Maybe a little tight. Sweeper's working it.
Ooh,
Just
just
by.
it.
So close. Really good effort.
That's going to be one more for yellow. Going into the third end, up 3-0.
We've elected to shorten red team's name to Plan B to fit on the scoreboard. I can see if it'll fit. The whole team name is May the Plan Bs be ever in your favor. Hugs not Jugs, throwing first rock.
Mine looks good. I think Wade looks great too. Yes, go!
Looks like this might just slip into the house.
Yeah, I don't think they'll mind that. Up 3. Liz calling for the takeout. What's your take on this tactic, Jeremy?
I don't know, I'm down 3. It's early in the game. I might have considered being a little more conventional and still trying to set up my corners.
Does make the hit, rolls out of play. Always the danger with that shot.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks nice. No, I don't want you to touch it either. Yeah, just walking. Walking.
slips in as well.
So we're setting up for the takeout once again. Yes.
It looks like Dominique got a little outside on the release.
Yeah, that rock getting a little wayward. Opportunity here for Hugs, not Jugs.
I think they were playing the tap, but I think they're going to get the split here.
Or
just rub.
Just rub. Just a gentle rub. Liz signaling that maybe this rock a bit wide as well.
So some quick updates on some of the games on the other sheets. On sheet A, Team Austin Leary out of Cape Cod is up 4-0 over Team Hewer out of Potomac. On sheet C, Team GVDH out of Philadelphia is up 1-0 over Team Stannard out of Nutmeg. And on sheet D, Team Hefner out of Plainfield and Jersey Pinelands is up 2-1 over Team Potomac Roller Derby.
Nice guard put in play by Hugs, not Jugs. Not a bad draw as well.
For plan B.
Yeah.
I like where that ended up.
Indeed. Second shot. Certainly usable. Probably edge on edge, meaning the inside edge of that red rock will line up with the outside edge of that center guard from when you look at it from the hack. Means that Hugs, not Jugs would have a pretty delicate shot to remove that without jamming. Rock appears to be a little light.
Didn't seem to quite curl enough to do what they were trying to block the run.
I I think the call might have been for the draw into the forefoot there. Protecting the run back wouldn't have been a bad outcome. This rock just under curling. Really nice weight control. Maybe a bit unlucky there to not make that shot. Looked like it was pretty well thrown.
Weight was good.
You want to try the hit and roll? Or do you want to just go here?
Still, plan B, red team with 2 rocks in the house and hammer.
Yes, yes! Hurry, hurry! Up, hurry, yes, yes, yes!
Now Hugs Not Jugs is going to have to close off that draw path. And I think they're going to try and do it by hitting and rolling over.
Yeah, I like the hit. I like the hit and roll rather than just the guard.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Literally.
Well
Does a
played.
pretty good job.
That's a nice stone.
Well played shot.
This is the vice second stone.
Hugs Not Jugs sitting 2. Plenty of cover out front as well. It's going to be hard to hit this with more than maybe hack weight, I'd say. Rock not quite fully covered, but maybe half covered?
I can see maybe 2/3 of it from the hack.
This looks like a fair amount of weight. Probably normal.
Some heel.
Maybe tries to pick the one off the button. Comes close.
Bit unlucky on the back.
Yeah, unlucky jam in the back.
Another well-thrown rock, just not quite working out for Tom. Not much discussion on this shot. Yeah, I think Virginia maybe recognizing she was a little tight out of her hand. Trying to will the rock into the house instead. Does wick off the deeper of the 2 guards. And I think the result's pretty good.
Yeah, both paths to the button are blocked now.
Maybe an out turn. You could see just enough of the button, but that is not a shot I would want to be throwing.
Jeremy, would you consider just trying to peel off some of those stones on the top, hoping to make your hammer a little bit easier?
I was actually looking at that too. You might be able to, I don't know that I would be able to get the top one, but you could probably double out the 2 guards that are tighter to the house with no chance of leaving your shooter and just roll that away too. So it would leave you an open path one way or the other to come at the center.
Yeah.
That being said, there's some merit to finding the draw weight to see what this draw is right to the button.
So it's hanging out there, and it looks like they're just going to try and bring it right down to that stone in the back 8. And they managed to take out that last red rock. Roll to the back 8, back 12. I think Liz is just going to have to try that same draw again this time.
Interesting, they're setting up the broom for the draw on the other side.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe I might have taken some diagnostics from the outturn that they had just thrown.
Was there, I don't know how far that guard is in front of the house, but is there any way they can get around it and be able to throw back 4-weight to tap that stone off the button? Because that might be, if you want to do that, this might be the way to go.
I'm not sure on this ice if that shot is possible. The rock in the house is abutting the center line. The guard appears to be not a super tight guard, but certainly in the 3 zone, as we call it. It's also almost a full rock off the center line.
You think they're just trying to draw and cut them down, just give yellow the 1 here, maybe?
Yeah, maybe taking a little added confidence of having the backer in case the draw comes up heavy. All these mysteries will be answered soon enough. Final stone here, third end. This rock, not light.
But they use the backing in the back.
This is not Dawn's first rodeo. She certainly recognized that as a possible outcome. Limits the damage.
Lots of game left. If you're yellow, you're thinking take my 2. If you're red, you think I'll take my 2 and get into order, maybe even 3.
First stone for Hugs Not Jugs slips into the top of the 12, and then may the plan Bs be ever in your favor. May the plan Bs be ever in your favor. Slid their first one through the house. One stone in the house so far.
That's my way. It's a different line, yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. A little further out. Yeah, get it over. Okay. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Wait, not actually. Try again.
What do you think about this call just drawing in here as opposed to removing the yellow?
I don't hate it. I think they've been burned a few times by yellow getting a stone in and being well guarded and having to chase it the whole game, so you can get one buried here, you know, kind of flip the script on them.
That's slipping a little deep.
Not that fast, Jules.
Yellow, once again, is starting to build up that clutter in the front of the house.
Yeah, that actually works in their favor considering they're up several. So even if red just takes one, you've played a good end if you're yellow.
That one just slips a little deep again. I don't know how quick the ice is out there. I haven't really got any good times.
Well, we'll find out. Here's an opportunity. This looks a little heavy. I think they're probably going to get the one in the back.
This one's out way wide.
Yellow looking to draw to the button again.
they can get it by. No, it just rubs on that guard. The weight looked really good, though.
Let's do a shot. Hit, big roll. Big roll. Hit and tiny roll. Just a tiny roll. I agree. Tiny roll. Tiny roll. Nose hitting. This way.
Yeah, if I'm yellow, I hit and roll here. I probably try and cheat and leave myself half exposed behind the front guard.
Yeah, they're calling for a hit and tiny roll. So I think they're going to try doing that.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that cheating. I'd call that just the right shot.
And it looks like that's just what they threw.
Well, it's a tiny roll.
Probably could have gotten a little bit more roll on there and been half buried. But still a good outcome.
That's a nice shot.
It's a great shot. Are they currently shot?
No.
Ooh, looks like needed to roll another half a rotation, about 3 more inches. Still a great result.
It actually, listening a little bit to the Vice and the Skip here, and they're not sure.
Looks like yellow is currently shot from the overhead camera perspective. Electing for the guard, which I would say means that yellow thinks they're shot.
Now they're debating again whether to hit, but
Yeah.
now they're setting up the room is definitely set up for the guard.
I'm kind of glad that Virginia won that. Oh, maybe they're still talking about it. Okay. Yeah, the danger is there's a lot of dangers. Could remove the yellow guard on the inside, which wouldn't really help your cause. Remember, there is another red rock in the back of the house that's currently third shot. Potentially worse result would be to just graze the side of the red rock and put shit into the 4-foot and expose the yellow rock in the back of the house. So,
yeah, if I'm playing B here, I'm looking for a way to try and remove that red rock in the back and take 3.
oh, I'm all over the place. Which camera should I be on? Wisely get it by the top red to not raise it in for shot. That rock coming up about back 12 weight.
So here's the noodle lead dilemma. Do you, if you're playing B,
The noodle dilemma.
do you try and raise your red enough to move that yellow out and take 3, or do you just take your 2?
Well, you're down 4. It is the even end, so most important thing is to score and score at least 2, I'd say. That said, the prospect of scoring 3 is pretty juicy. You don't need to necessarily move that yellow rock now, but if you could throw enough weight to just freeze the rock that's top 4 onto it and make it shot, that could potentially set you up later for a big score. Of course, in that circumstance, you'd only be sitting 1. So plenty of options here. Another option might be to play the split, try to move the red rock that's currently top 4 into, kind of across the 4-foot, sit on the side behind the guards, deep behind the guards, and then roll your shooter off into the side of the 8-foot.
Yeah, leaving yourself an easier shot, even at what we were just discussing.
Yep. Yeah, the danger there is you open up the draw for your opponent. Not sure what the final call was. This rock may be a little wide. Liz had a bit of a case of the heavies as well. I'd say the line was probably pretty good.
Weight there was probably a little bit more than back line.
Yeah, it's probably about 10 feet heavier than she wanted.
So is yellow just going to try and guard it up here again? Try the same shot they tried last time, but a little bit less weight.
I think it's just in enough of the path to get them what they wanted.
Yeah, oh, it did just pop into view on our near cam, so I think the tap for 1 is still there. Just because that guard is so long. But it's a pretty tough shot for 2 or more. We saw with Liz's previous rock that even just a little bit extra weight, just through the house weight, which is what she would need to throw, it does run a bit straight. We've got a request for some scores from around the sheets, and I think as soon as this hammer rock is thrown, we can go ahead and get that together. So the call's been made. I thought I heard Liz mutter the tap. So probably not convinced that their shot. Want to guarantee.
That being said, if you get a little wide here, drawing right to the tee line will still get you a point.
Agreed. Yeah. So tee line to back 4 is really the weight you want to aim for here. Really, any touch of that rock that's top 4 is going to make a shot. This rock, again, looking a bit wide. Maybe got out into a slow path. Going to come up short of the house.
to look at those 2 stones, but
maybe while though they're figuring that out, we can take a look at some scores from around
yeah.
the club.
So it looks like on sheet A, Team Austin Leary is up over Team Hewer. Looks like 5-2, 2 or 3. I can't see. The skip is
At 4.
5-4. So Team Hewer scored 4 in the 4th end. So it's 5-4 on sheet A. Sheet C, it looks like
3-1.
3-1. Team GVDH out of Philadelphia is over Team Stannard. And then on sheet D, it's 3-2. Team Potomac Roller Derby over Team Hefner. That
Last
one
rock
is
in that end right now.
That's going to score at least 2,
like 2.
probably 2. So that looks like it's going to be 4-3 now. Team Hefner over Potomac Roller Derby.
Patty Hefner making a great slash to score 2 in the 4th end. So that end up in another steal?
Yes, it did. So now it's 5-0. They did not have to measure, right? I wasn't paying attention.
Only unscientifically with the broom.
With the broom head.
Nice shot, Dom.
Something funny happening there with that rock, either burned or picked.
Maybe pick. A little better start for plan B in this end. So that rock is accessible.
Looks like they will get this, but they're going to roll away.
It does appear to be at least out of the house. Yep, and did roll out of play. Just plan B, a free draw here. This rock
does not stick around.
Does not stick around, unfortunately, just through the house. Missed opportunity.
Yellow looks a little heavy here as well.
Yeah, this rock will stick around, but it does go back 8. A little deeper than they would have wanted. Bit of a let up there. A chance to apply pressure.
That being said, for Hugs Not Jugs being up 5, playing all the rocks to the center is not a bad thing.
No, shrinks the scoring area. Certainly makes it more difficult to score multiples. This rock looking to be better weight. Does stay in front of the tee. Not shot, but again, a very usable rock.
Yellow electing to remove it.
I think they'll see plenty of the inside of this rock. Should be able to remove it. Maybe a little tight on the release.
Ooh, they get the... Ooh!
Oh! Quite a turn there. Just wicks the card. Redirects onto the object rock, but at the wrong angle, jams it on the rock that's back 4. All of a sudden, plan B sitting shot behind a corner guard.
Looking to draw behind the other corner guard.
Oh, and I thought they were going to catch a wick, but...
A wick would have been very nice,
Yeah.
leaving your stone a little higher.
A little higher and a little more under the guard, potentially. Still not a bad shot. Forces Hugs Not Jugs to deal with it. There will be a double available. You do have to flirt with the center guard a bit more in order to make this double.
It seems like that's what they're set up for. Just the one here.
Looks that way. Nice shot all the same. Gets a tiny little roll to the outside. Let's make Don's last rock a little more complicated. Certainly a lot of jam risk here.
Appears to be curling off the center line.
Yeah, I think they'll want to make sure they hit the corner guard thick. Try to stick around. Yeah, removing the corner guard would have been okay, but really wanted that rock to stay in the house if possible. So this gives Virginia McElroy an open hit to sit 2.
Not a lot of room here, throwing up weight.
I think they're picking up on a bit of a straighter spot when you get outside of the about 3 feet from the center line. Indeed, this rock does seem to be carrying dead straight. Certainly not light. Nice result.
A really nice, just little inside roll.
Yeah, that little inside roll will make it harder for Liz to be able to make the double and roll under the center guard. Double attempt, I think now.
Close to nose.
Will jam. Or I'm sorry, a roll attempt will just jam.
Right.
Still, I think that would leave her sitting shot. And looks like she'll probably take it on.
You could still throw the double with the top rock going over the top of the back one, and get your desired roll.
You could. I'm not sure why you'd want to. Down 5 at this point. You really need to think about putting points on the board, not blanks.
Out wide again. Getting an inside roll is probably not going to happen here. I think they're looking to get the back one now.
Yeah, good plan B. Guess it's right there in the name. Liz may be suffering from a bit of the outsideys today. Still, good to keep it in the house. It's going to force Hugs Not Jugs to deal with the rock, prevent them from making a better shot.
Yeah, this is where you had hoped that previous one that rolled out the back had hung around.
Yes. Yeah, it would really add apply some pressure. I'm not kidding sweep call.
I think Virginia was a bit tight on the release on this one.
I'd say. Oh. Really, the first shot I think we've seen her miss. So gives the plan Bs, or may the plan Bs be ever in your favor. Pretty routine shot for the deuce. But they're really, really, really wishing that Rock had hung on in the back 12. No.
Sweeping this one hard, and I managed to hold it right along the center line.
That's a nice shot.
Yeah, great weight control. Doesn't overthrow it. Gives the sweepers a chance. And maybe plan B not out of this game just yet.
Definitely work cut out for them. Steal, steal, steal.
Opening rock doesn't quite make it back to center. First shot for Hugs, not Jugs, of the 6th end. In the house, top 12. Looks like Liz opting to ignore that rock for the moment. Utilize it as a guard. That's a pretty good shot. But always would have been hard to bury in front of the tee.
That being said, this is that same line that if you get a little heavy here, it tends to go straight and you slip through the house.
Yep, certainly tricky. This rock looks a bit light. Leaving a stagger guard situation. Maybe not what you would have chosen at the onset of this end.
This one's going to wreck right on top of him.
Yeah, I think maybe Emily just a little tight.
That being said, more guards when you're trying to steal is not a horrible outcome.
Yeah, changes the angles on the yellows, not in a particularly good or bad way. Does open up a few more options.
Yellow trying to tap here.
I think you may be right. Maybe going through the hole.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Somehow makes it through the hole. Does make contact with the red rock in the back of the house, but doesn't move it. Did it make contact?
It did,
just
yeah.
barely.
Yeah, it doesn't move it out of shot position, though. These rocks are set up in kind of a squib position, I like to say. I think if you hit the outside one first, you may be able to hit the inside one and then go straight back.
Nice shot. For
Great
Red.
shot. Red first and third. This is...
Yellow appears to be very tight.
This has got some juice, though. Sweeper's working hard. Do manage to hold it. Ooh. Great shot.
Very nice shot.
Unlucky on the jam, but does still leave Red sitting one. Also leaves a center guard, which is the only bad thing I'll say about that shot.
A little heavy there, but it moved a lot after the hog line and got pretty close back to center, just back of the house.
Yep, I think from the right thrower's hat, he will have a quarter of that rock on the intern side. This is Hugs Not Jugs' first rock for Vice. Is that correct? I hope so.
That appears to be true.
This looks like a nice rock. Does over curl in the end, though.
Looks like they're gonna look and see if that made that shot.
Yeah, may have outcounted one of the red rocks, or both of the red rocks. I don't know that it changes your shot call much.
Yeah, I think red still might be shot here.
Yeah, I think any way you look at it, you do still need to draw. Although, potentially intern side, you could. Oh, well, there you go. Sounds like yellow is shot. Yeah, and I think Dawn is pointing out that she can see shot rock.
I mean, you could get there this way, too.
It's an important decision. I think it's worth talking it over with your Vice.
Liz looked to have been considering the double there, but set up for the draw here. I think this is probably the widest draw we've seen coming this way.
At least on purpose. Yeah, my concern is that it's going to be slower than expected out there. Probably quite a bit. Probably looking at 3/10 slower if you're interval timers. Tracy's final rock of the end.
Seems to have some weight.
Electing for the split. I think the result could be nice here. Yellow now sitting probably shot.
And maybe second.
Looks like second and maybe third as well.
Lots of stones biting just the edge of 8.
Or I'm sorry, I think yellow
just 2.
is 1 and 2.
2 stones on the top of the 8-foot, just to the right of the center line.
Any way you look at it, things are getting a little hokey for Plan B here.
Time for a Plan B.
Yes. I don't think you need to panic. It is important to make a good one here.
They're looking at running back here. Pros, cons to just trying to draw to the button here.
So the obvious pro is you can remove shot and what may be second or third shot if you play this correctly. Result would be you'd probably be sitting 1. That 1 is way in the back of the house. The downside is that rock is a guard, and you may need that red rock for your skip to potentially bail out of a big end on her final rock. So I might have been inclined to maybe slash the yellow in that was center line. Liz throwing pretty much peel weight here.
I heard lots of rocks.
Yeah, so the rock over curls. And that was the danger there. Rock over curled just a little bit and is now open to the front up.
Yeah, if you're trying to steal, you'd want to keep the junk up front
as much as possible. The immediate danger is yellow sitting 1 and 2.
Yeah, if I'm yellow, I'm liking the look of this house.
And the long-term danger here is there's really nowhere to hide a rock. I guess you will have maybe a piece of the 4-foot on the right-hand side of the screen. Or potentially a freeze, which is a pretty difficult shot to execute.
Yeah, I think I don't know for red. I don't know that it matters what yellow throws here. You're probably trying to freeze to the yellow rock that's in the 4-foot.
Yeah, and I didn't exactly see the discussion, but my concern right now is that Hugs Not Jugs may have called for a guard. And I think the only rock that can really get you in trouble right now is a guard.
Is a guard, yeah, you want to keep it open for yourself.
Yeah, keep it open for yourself and not give anywhere for Liz to hide her final rock.
It's going to glide right into the 4-foot.
Yeah. This is
That's actually probably a better outcome than what they were calling if they had been calling the guard.
Yeah, the double on those 2 rocks is a nose hit, which would leave wide open hit for 2 or more.
The freeze is now really a much tougher option, and if you can freeze, you might not even be shot.
Yeah, you could try maybe something tricky, nose tap on that rock that was just thrown with about back 8 weight.
Yeah, push the yellow one into the back 8.
Yeah, it would leave you, if executed perfectly, sitting shot with some backers. It's really a desperation shot. There may be enough room to hit this rock just on the center line side of nose, roll under the guards to the right of the screen. If you throw enough weight, you could maybe sit shot that way. It's certainly dangerous. That may be what she's trying. Low on options.
curl a little bit here. Ooh, there it goes.
Just dove right there.
Yeah, sudden curl.
Gonna miss both of them
Really worst case scenario.
That was thrown fairly firm too. Like it was a good normal weight.
No, it wasn't light.
Just didn't really look like a pick. It just snapped.
So with the hammer, Virginia just looking to draw to the 8-foot or better.
Yeah, that results in a score of 4, it would look like.
Plenty of backing everywhere. Seems like it might.
Yeah, Vice
just probably won't get
Vice
there.
coming out of the house.
Lending some moral support.
Yeah, you never like to leave points, but at the end of the day,
3 is still a significant
yes,
number of points.
already lying 3, it's really not the end of the world. So a bit of a mistake, but still.
Those are handshakes.
And that's the shake.
And that's the final. So after 6 ends, final score, Hugs Not Jugs 8, Plan B 2. We got some extra time, so let's take a gander around the club. What do you think is a good game to tune into?
Looks like sheet A might be done soon as well.
D appears to be the closest score at the moment.
This is Patty Hefner throwing her first rock of this end with hammer.
Lots of red rocks moving there.
Yeah, great shot. Does remove the rock removes the rock from the button, which was causing her most of the trouble. Score of this game is currently Potomac Roller Girls 6. I'm not sure if Patty has a clever team name, but she has currently 4 points with hammer. So we'll be looking for her deuce. Right now it looks like Red's currently sitting 1. That jam you saw in the back 12, current shot rack. This is substitute skip Courtney Shaw throwing her final rock of the end. This team racked with illness. Normal skip, Liz Demers.
A little under the weather this morning.
Yeah, not able to continue. So Courtney jumps up from the vice position. Looks like she may have come up a little light on her final rock. So decision time. I think Patty is looking to see if
she can somehow squeak 2 out of this with a split.
I don't think there's a chance for 3 with the split. Angles maybe just not quite right, especially with where Courtney's rock just ended up.
Pretty sure you're gonna, if you're Patty, you're pretty sure you're gonna get one. I don't see the split. You might not be able to roll the shooter on enough to get second shots.
It might be hard, but there's not a lot of difference between the draw and the split on this line. So maybe looking to see if the gentle tap on the rock in the back 12 is available as well. I think the split is fairly straightforward. You throw, good T-line weight out of your hand, and then you let the sweepers do the rest. If the split's there, play it. If not, you still get your draw for one. You get a little bonus coverage of sheet C as well.
Yeah, Philadelphia team GVDH just scored 3, I believe. So that's going to put them up 7-2 going to the last end.
It is Nancy Gerson Vanderhoop. Her name doesn't fit on anything.
So is that an unofficial team name that just happens because it makes it easier to type?
I believe you are correct.
Okay.
So sheet D throws the takeout on the back 12, and they're looking to see whether it's 1 or 2.
Yeah, great shot. Well executed by Patty. So I didn't see the signal. Was that 2?
I didn't catch that either. They were looking at them very close, and I didn't get a resolution.
Probably see the score go up here.
That's 2, I believe.
Yep, so it looks like tied game here in the 7th. Looks like the guard ends up a little long for the Hefner's rink first shot. And then the draw also a little long for Shaw's Shaw rink.
Look the other way. It's run straight. Okay. Yeah. I heard an oh crap from your second. Sorry.
Second lead rock from the Hefner rink. Again, leaving a bit of a long guard off center, but a guard nonetheless. Those rocks could come into play later. They look like they may be occluding the draw into the forefoot. See how that shapes up.
Over on sheet A, Team Hewer just scored 2 in the 7th to make it a 7-6 game going into the 8th end. It's been a lot of ones from Team Austin Leary, and then just 2 big ends from Team Hewer has kept them in it.
Looks like the final lead rock for the Shaw rink. Does come up light. Unfortunately, wicks off the corner guard, leaving a center guard. Patty's still not a fan of it. Appears to be playing the hit. First of the seconds rocks for the team without hammer. Does make the peel. Leaves the shooter as a nice guard position, just off center.
Yellow clawing on sheet A, yellow clawing their way back into the game.
Yeah, a bit of an interesting one brewing there as well. This is second for Team Shaw, normally the lead. A little heavy, does end up in the back of the house. Tough to say from here. I don't think it quite rolled behind the center guard. Looks like it is open. Patty changing her. Nope, maybe not. Back to the original call, which I'm not 100% sure what it was. Probably a draw.
Ooh, there's some weight coming down.
Oh, maybe I was. Plays the hit on shot rock. No roll, really, of any appreciable amount. I think Katie Kovac, who second for Team Shaw, will have pretty clear view of this rock. It's just a matter of where you want to roll to.
Fairly normal weight here.
Sneaks through that hole, center line side. Misses the guard. Misses shot rock.
I don't know if I could have done that if I tried.
Yeah, it's looks difficult from here. Bit unlucky, probably. Peeling the guard would not have been a bad result. Patty calls for top 12, I believe. Affords some protection for shot rack. Pretty close to where she put the broom, if a few feet deep. Does effectively cover shot rock, will leave a double. Maybe a double that allows for a roll behind the guard, or at least out of the center.
You're thinking just off of nose?
Yeah, it looks like they're looking at the outside of nose, make the double that way. It's possible coming to the center line side of nose would leave you with a jam. The other advantage of hitting on the outside of the rock, outside nose, so it should give you a little bit better roll under that guard. Sweeper's disinterested. Whew. Does miss the rock, about a half rock off, wrong side of nose. Removes their rock from the back of the house, but does sit second shot. I believe it's second shot in top 8.
Patty looking at it.
Yeah, certainly don't want to leave it there if you don't have to. Really every shot important at this point. This is the final rock for the vice of the Hefner. And nose hit. Does leave yellow sitting 2.
We do have a result from sheet C. Red taking it there. GVDH over standard nutmeg.
Standard nutmeg. It's an assertive nose hit. Stefferstad. Probably wanting a roll to either side there and getting caught right in between both. Important shot for Patty here on her first. She'll want to stay in the house. A roll out will give the opportunity for Courtney on her first to hit the open rock and roll under the guard, bringing the deuce into play or the blank potentially.
Ooh, curling.
Yeah, that seemed to take a sudden jump
piece of it.
She did get a piece of it.
And Stephanie, does it go out?
Does it stay in the house? I can't tell from where I'm sitting.
It's in that back no man's land corner. Can't see if it's on.
Can't tell if it's on.
It's close. My gut says it's off.
Okay. Well, we'll see if that comes into play.
But I've been wrong before today.
Doesn't change this shot call much.
Yeah, optimally you still hit and roll under here.
Yeah, a lot of house to roll to. You can roll to under the guard near the center line on the left, under the corner guard on the right, or even all the way across the house to that rock that's hanging on the back. That would be fine. Just important to make sure this rock stays in the house.
Should get a roll here behind the close guard.
Maybe not quite as much of a roll as they thought. Sweeper's on it hard initially.
And then not coming off until right before the end.
Yeah, must have kept the rock straight. Does Patty have a similar shot to her, or similar shot as the one just thrown? Should have all of that rock from the hack.
It'll be interesting to see if this one curls as much as that last one.
Yeah. Based on the ice, looks like they're expecting it to. Taking more than rock with. Sweeper's on it initially. And tight to the broom. Clips the guard.
Rolls maybe just onto the top of the house.
Maybe, but that will be no consequence. Unfortunately, also clears the guard, leaves a wide open in-turn draw here for the deuce. So pretty good skips deuce. Maybe didn't work out exactly as they drew it up, but it was just good enough. Steph Erstad wearing one of my more favorite curling shirts I've seen in a while. Says, "Let's play the curling." Sweeper's unimpressed.
Just a few light brush strokes.
Rock does stop with a bit of room to spare. Maybe concerned about some fudge in the slide path this late in the game. Doesn't want it to get stuck and come up short. So Potomac Roller Girls get their 2 in the 7th end and are up 2 with Hammer coming home. I'd expect to see this rock go into the house.
Yeah, I would too.
I don't know where I'm So many buttons on this computer.
That being said, it may go through, which is just as well.
Yep. Not ideal, but it's better than a guard.
Sheet A finished up with Shea Austin Leary's Cape Cod team beating Potomac's Team Hewer. And I believe these were all A event games this morning.
I believe you're correct. Yeah, Team Hewer tries the comeback. Really gave it a good run. Just comes up a little short in the end. Hefner Rink just gets the guard in play. So the first rock was okay if it goes through, but you really do need to. You do need to get a rock in the house here. Certainly, a guard is detrimental, but with the corner guard in play, failing to get one close to the 4 foot, pretty much conceding the deuce.
Bit of sweeping there.
Just keeping it clean. Sweepers really like this. It's really what you want to see when you throw a rock is sweepers have the broom down.
Right to the tee line.
Good shot. As I said, it's important to make sure that you get a rock in the 4 foot area just to counter a draw under that corner guard. Petty electing to hit this rock early in the 8th end. Very important to keep the shooter. I'm sorry, this was the
just hackway here.
freeze.
She called a hit, I believe.
She did call a hit. Maybe
Yeah,
it
she's
just
looking
came up
for
a little
hit
light.
roll.
Okay. In the end, that rock was a little less than hack, I think, even.
Yeah.
Maybe just
Back line.
back line. Rolls off. Potomac Roller Girls will have an open hit here to remove this danger. Though are in danger of accumulating some rocks in the back of the house. So be happy with a rollout here.
Should get the roll back under.
Yeah, even out of play is a good result here. It just knows. So not a perfect result. While having run rock in play in the 4 foot's fine. Having too many rocks in the back of the house.
Catchers is not a
Not
good
as
thing.
much, yes. Still no reason to panic. Hefner has plenty of options here. Could elect to draw under the corner guard. Those 2 red rocks look doubleable from my perspective. Doubleable. Doubleable. Yeah. Hard to say.
Looks like another downweight hit.
Yep. Also a good call if you roll under the corner, or even looks like they're going to try to roll frozen. They're moving forward in the house now, so a nose hit would result in your rock being ahead of the tee. I think the Roller Girls Still would like to see a rollout here.
A little bit of a rollout.
Yeah, it doesn't roll out of the house, but in front of the tee, does roll away a little bit, makes the double just that much harder.
If Patty's calling the hit and roll, I don't know that I would do that, because if I flop over there and I'm red, I just put another one on the pile.
Yeah, she's not in a great position here, and it's kind of two schools of thought, I think. One is, well, you just ignore those rocks because they should be lined up for a double. However, if that's not your strength, maybe you don't want to leave a double for your last rock. So by freezing, you kind of get a twofer. Your opponents have to remove their rock in the effort of removing yours. And then there's always the chance that they'll jam it. In this case, that rock a little heavy, so there's no backing. Does leave the rock in play in the back 12, but I think as a kind of a bonus on this shot, the Roller Girls will try to pick that one off. Makes the hit. Doesn't get the rock out of the back 12, but rolls free of the forefoot. Also rolls clear of the corner guard, so not too much danger from the shooter. I think now I might elect to draw under the corner guard.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, the two rocks in the back, not really a factor. One well-placed draw around the corner.
Exactly. But they have been throwing pretty soft weight at these hits, and so...
Well, I think this one was a freeze call.
This rock not curling quite as they would like.
Great weight.
Yeah, weight's perfect for the freeze. Just kind of sticks to the center line. So a bit of a tricky situation. Those rocks accumulating in the back. I think you'll see Steph Erstad throw
pretty firm weight.
Firm weight. Yep, that way if you make contact with any of the reds, just maximize your chance of rolling the yellow rock out. Sweeper's calling 9. That's a hog to hog time. Measuring hits.
And that's the firm weight, and that for that reason only,
yes.
It gets the two back ones out.
Yes, great. Certainly, they'll be happy with that result. Removing one of the catchers on the back. I did not see the call. Is Patty elected for the freeze again, or is she attempting the draw under the corner?
I believe it's freeze again.
Second vice stone.
Sweeper's giving this one every opportunity to curl.
This one a little heavier too.
Yeah.
So a little bit heavy. Bounces open. Still in that tricky spot, though. Potomac Roller Girls may look like they're in great position, but they need to make sure they don't just nose this. Nosing would leave a freeze. So just peeling this rock, really a great result. Maybe they're avoiding that corner guard because they're not convinced they can.
Is it not drawing? Is it not curling that way?
Curling under it. Generally, I thought that wall sheet actually fell to the wall. So you think, if anything, there's some exaggerated motion from the center line to the sideline in that direction.
Maybe not rolling the way they want, but
Yes.
they're gonna. I think they may roll.
Sweepers right off this one. Not a ton of weight. Just an easy, controlled shot. Doesn't make it the hit and sits wide open. There is a freeze opportunity if made perfect, or it doesn't even have to be perfect, I think. Maybe with the location of that red rock that is on the side of the 8-foot. Even if you cheated just to that side of the freeze, might set up a jam. Anyway, perfect freeze will all but guarantee a deuce, or at least an opportunity for a deuce.
Now they're debating the shot, and I think they're trying to figure out whether they want to just hit the stone with a normal weight, or with the ice they were given before, it almost looked like they wanted to just tap it back with like back 8 weight.
Yeah, and I think that's really the right call. Now that I think about it, a dead freeze would leave the opportunity for Courtney to just nose, in which case it's then very difficult to score 2. The nose hit would be just top button. Giving yourself just a little bit of room. Still going to be difficult to remove these rocks, not known for their liveliness in the house. I still think I like the freeze and cheat to just the left side of center. Maybe set up a jam on the outside rock.
This looks decidedly more so than that.
Yeah, I think they are maybe trying to remove one of the rocks from the 4-foot area.
Oh, no.
Sweepers.
Right off.
Yes. No taste for this. Unfortunate result. Always the possibility with a hit. Patty does roll out with her last. Mathematically eliminated. So with the 8th end incomplete, we'll call it score of 8-6 in favor of the Potomac Roller Girls. Okay.